Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I'm just glad it was the Bills, Perna. Denver is officially out of the playoff race. And I appreciate the mercy kill coming from the Bills. They're like Daniel Day-Lewis from Last of the Mohicans, shooting us before we get burned at the stake by the Chargers or Raiders in the next 2 weeks. Or maybe Bills Mafia, more appropriately, like Michael Corleone killing Fredo, or Tony Soprano killing Christopher Moltisanti. The Bills Mafia, you get it. But the Bills are AFC East champs for the first time since 1995. You know who was alive in 95? Not Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the only Bills quarterback to win the AFC East as far as Josh Allen can remember. Today, I'll bring you the best and worst from the Bills' evisceration of the Broncos. For example, a worst is that coward son of a bitch, Tom Brady, fled the AFC East the moment it got competitive. That poser jumped to the NFC South where Drew Brees is being held together by duct tape. The Panthers are in year one of a total rebuild, and the Falcons, well, they'll always just bow down to Brady. Best? I think the Bills can beat the Chiefs if they meet in the playoffs. Let's talk this game. That's good sports. Please, if you want the Bills to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, today's episode brought to you by my own coffee company, BenchwarmerBrew.com. It's really fucking good coffee. And if you go to BenchwarmerBrew.com, you can get the mug, you can get the beans. They're not cheap. I've told you that before. But if you subscribe to get monthly deliveries or however you want or however many bags you want, that is how you can save money on our coffee because it's really, really good. Craft roasted, organic, ethically sourced. That shit ain't cheap. So we've priced it as cheaply as we can, but if you want to save, you got to subscribe and get monthly shipments. BenchwarmerBrew.com. As a Broncos fan, I never want to hear Mark Schlereth call another Broncos game ever again. My writing partner, Will Keys, and podcast co-host said it best on Twitter. Mark Schlereth is like a little league coach who's extra tough on his son to prove a point. Then his son quits and he's stuck coaching a bunch of random kids. Which reminds me of when my dad coached me. Except he was the one who quit because he was embarrassed he had to keep telling everyone I was his son. Worst. Taylor Russolino missed a 51-yard field goal attempt on the opening series for the Broncos. It wasn't even close, and I was honestly surprised that the officials didn't measure it just to be safe. Best? The NFL officials measuring spots more than I measured my dick in high school. Unlike when I was in high school, the measurements weren't coming up short every single time. I think they had 4 measurements in this game by my count, which is just 1,893 away from passing my measuring attempts record set in high school. The Bills have one of the best third down offenses in the league. That's a sentence that hasn't been uttered since the Jim Kelly days, and Josh Allen was still swimming around in his dad's bulky testicles. And the refs made it really easy for Buffalo early to convert those third downs with these blatantly terrible illegal contact calls, which is a worst. How do you throw the flag here on Devontae Bosby when the contact, whatever it was, helped Diggs get 6 yards of separation? The entire Broncos sideline thought it was an offensive pass interference penalty, if anything. Then poor Bosby had an interception taken away because of another Broncos penalty. Best? If you take away those bad calls, give the Broncos their starting kicker, all of their corners back, and take away all of the points the Bills scored, this could have been a pretty good game. Worst, Josh Allen, under duress, somehow completes this throw, falling to the ground like a redneck Mahomes. like a lunch pail Mahomes, like blue collar comedy tour Mahomes. Josh Allen, he just gets her done. That's the one. Yep, Josh Allen, blue collar comedy tour, Patrick Mahomes. And I know if Drew Lock attempted that throw, falling to the ground, it would have been a pick six, and he probably would have ended up on IR. Now that led to the Bills' first touchdown, a pass by Josh Allen, who just patiently waited for Dawson Knox to get open. Dawson knocked his hands off of Devontae Bosby to get that separation. Definitely not a penalty, since it would have helped Denver. Worst, Josh Allen drawing Denver offsides for the second time in the first quarter to get a free play and a first down. Man, does it feel terrible getting drawn offsides at home. But that's one of the crazy parts about this season, playing without any damn crowd noise. Worst, Denver not having a number 1 or number 2 or number 3 corner to cover Stefon Diggs and his 146 or 47 yards in this outing, and seeing the refs still bail Diggs out when he's clearly short of the markers. He's one of the best receivers in the league. He doesn't need any favors. Defenders literally fall down when he's coming. Best, Josh Allen passed Tyrod Taylor for the 6th most passing yards in Bills team history. He can pass Drew Bledsoe next, and then Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hell, he might end up as the Bills' 3rd all-time leading rusher if he keeps playing defenses missing all of their starting corners. Thurman Thomas, O.J. Simpson, then Josh Allen would be the order. But for Josh's safety, I hope he does not pass O.J. Worst, seeing big Shelby Harris and Bradley Chubb fighting on the sideline. Stop yelling at each other, Mom and Dad. It's Christmas. It's not Dad's fault he has 2 families and 0 jobs, Mom. He loves us. Best, seeing the maturity of these men hug it out immediately after the confrontation with peacekeeper Will Parks uniting all. Best, Jerry Jeudy letting this ball go right through his hands on 3rd down because he knew the Bills would muff the punt on the next play. Why even get hit there when the gain will be so much greater in a few seconds? That's a savvy move by the rookie. Best, Pat Shurmur dialing up an amazing play call. That's about as rare as someone dialing up with AOL. But Drew Lock Houdini'd the fake and then tricked the cameraman and the Bills defense like a spitting image of Peyton Manning against the Cowboys. Who makes images with spit? That's what I've always wondered. That paved the way. Well, Melvin Gordon just paved his own way into the end zone on 3rd down to give the Broncos their first touchdown. Worst, fuck the officials. It wasn't just Devontae Bosby getting flagged for breaking wind whenever Stefon Diggs was in the vicinity. It was egregious calls like this being unnecessary roughness. Shelby Harris hits Josh Allen on time and then rolls his massive body so he doesn't fall on top of Josh Allen. Where's the penalty there? Where's the penalty? Josh knows this is bullshit as he was patting Shelby on the back afterwards. It's okay, Shelby. It happens to lots of guys. Best, then these dipshit officials did their job very well. Really made up for their previous sins by flagging the Bills on 3 straight plays, negating a touchdown. Just some of the most annoying officiating I can ever remember. Worst, due to all of the flags, Josh Allen was robbed of maybe the greatest play fake / fake throw / backwards handoff in the game. That's a behind the back handoff. Only Mahomes, guys. The Broncos should have declined the penalty to give the Bills the touchdown on that play. That's how gentlemen play the game. Best, Jake Kumerow catching his first pass as a Buffalo Bill, and it goes for a touchdown. Even better, Mark Schlereth was able to compliment his dick after the TD.
And then look at that hose.
Jake's hose really comered on a row of defenders there, didn't he, Mark? Worst, the way this official just daintily dropped the flag after college debate champion Drew Lock talked them into giving him a roughing call. And that is why all quarterbacks should take debate class in college. Best, this throw by Drew Lock to Noah Fant for the touchdown right before halftime. Worst, Taylor Russolino dishonoring the bench and the gooch by missing the PAT. And here we are, your halftime show. I present Drew Lock recreating what it looked like when he was coming out of the womb, as Mark Schlereth talked about maturation and growth. This is art.
Some maturation from Drew Lock, right? That is a beautiful hose. Opens up his hip.
He may have penetrated that spot. Lock and Allen trading seeds.
We got a couple of young quarterbacks
Trading seeds.
Lock and Allen trading seeds. I don't think you guys know what that means. Best, Gabe Davis not being able to do this. Worst, the official still giving him the first down, even though he was clearly Cole Beasley. I mean, short. Josh Allen scampered in for the touchdown on the next play anyway. Worst, after that easy Josh Allen touchdown, Trey White and Jerry Hughes combined to break my spirits with equally amazing plays on the same play. Trey White's strip sack of Drew Lock, just a tremendous corner play. I don't even knock Drew Lock for not knowing White would flash in there like that and hit him from behind. Then Jerry Hughes, who might be the only man who hates the officials more than me.
I'll catch you, trust me, I'll catch you, guaranteed.
Jukes about 80 Broncos on his way into the end zone. Maybe Hughes should actually be the Buffalo Bills' third down running back. Worst, fuck it, best. It's a best. Again, Denver only had 3 corners available to play in this game. So seeing Michael Ojemudia get ejected for throwing a punch was really funny. I mean, should we really be surprised when a guy named OJ loses his cool? Best, the Bills set the record for scoring the most touchdowns in one game that didn't count. I think they had 3 touchdowns that got called back due to various penalties.
That is a beautiful hose.
Best, Josh Allen joins 2015 Cam Newton as the only player to have 8 rushing touchdowns and 30 passing touchdowns in a season. Cam won the MVP that year, but lost the Super Bowl. I wish Josh Allen better luck. And since the NFL is too blind to give Allen a real shot at the MVP, he should get the consolation prize. A Lombardi trophy, and a gaudy ring that would not be acceptable for any man to wear in any other circumstances. Worst, Drew Lock couldn't even pad his stats with an entire quarter of garbage time. Just 135 passing yards on the day. Best, Taylor Russolino was so bad, the ball didn't even want to be kicked by him. Worst, I was actually rooting for the Bills to score at least 48 points. Because I would much rather have Buffalo hand the Broncos their worst loss of the season, which they did, than the Raiders or the Chiefs. Best, and my bench player of the game, Matt Barkley, for his perfect handoff in garbage time to Devin Singletary. Without that handoff, Devin Singletary can't score. Good luck, Buffalo. You are now my favorite team heading into the playoffs. And may you channel your inner
OJ Mahomes
and get to that Super Bowl. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please, the best and worst of all of NFL Sunday will be up Monday. That's when I post those bad boys. So don't forget to come back and watch them.